morning. Today is Wednesday, I think, January the 10th, 2024, and welcome to this episode of the Morning Mug. I have my hat on. You can see it has the Philadelphia Eagles logo on it. Still my team, still my Eagles, not changing sides. Eagles 11-6 right now, playing Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday for a wild card spot. We will see what happens. Go Birds. Okay, so let's hop into some news. The old stuff. Okay. This day, 1776, Thomas Paine publishes a 50-ish page pamphlet called Common Sense. This is going to be a document that is going to be read by the majority of the British colonists, and it is going to be something that's helping to spark movement forward toward a revolution to gain independence from Great Britain. Thomas Paine, born in the UK, came to the colonies. He emigrated to the US. Let's do some clarification on our language here, friends. Okay, an immigrant is someone from a certain country. Italian immigrants, British immigrants, okay, versus emigrated, meaning goes to. So this is my really bad map. Remember, B, 7th grade art, still haunts my dreams. This is meant to be Europe. There's England, you see that? And there's Africa. Wait, yes, okay. And that's meant to be Italy. Over here is meant to be the New World. There's Florida. Go with it. So Thomas Paine, born here, emigrated to the colonies. If you're here in the colonies, you can say Thomas Paine immigrated from. Okay? Important things. You got to get it right. So he immigrated to the colonies with the help of Ben Franklin. Learned a little bit about this. It's actually, because I'm a nerd, it's the audiobook I'm listening to right now. Walter Isaacson's very in-depth biography of Benny the Frank. So when I finish that, I have about 4 hours of it left to go. I do it I listen to it when I'm doing my dishes or folding laundry, stuff like that. I'm learning a lot. I knew he was a funny figure, that Benny the Frank, but I'm learning a lot more. This day, 49 BCE, Julius Caesar, we've mentioned him before on the mug, defied the Roman Senate, crossed the Rubicon, which is a river. Eventually, there's going to be a civil war. And Julius Caesar, is going to be then eventually named emperor for life. The title of today's episode, Alea, iacta est. The die is cast. So whether it's the die is cast, meaning, hey, it's done, whether it is someone saying, well, they crossed the Rubicon on that one, there's no going back, there's no turning back. So that's what I've been kind of chewing on this morning. It's getting to be the end of the semester. Some students are saying, hey, what can I do about my grades? And to what degree right now, right here at the end with 3 days to go, is the die cast? Okay. This day in history, 1870, the founding of the Standard Oil Company. This is John D. Rockefeller. Rockefeller's brothers and a few other business partners are going to start this company. And when it started, about 10% of the oil production would be controlled by them. That would significantly increase. So this is one of our barons in American history. 1917, White House protests are going to start. The Silent Sentinels, Alice Paul. I mentioned Carrie Chapman Catt yesterday for her birthday. Alice Paul, we're going to talk about her tomorrow because tomorrow is her birthday. Standing outside of the White House in protest, trying to push forward the issue of women's suffrage. 1958, song released Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis. That is a classic. I'm going to hold off on talking about his bio. This is a family show. 1986. The only reason I'm bringing this one up, not that it's not important, but it reminds me of something I talked about yesterday. Michael Jordan and his career 15,000 points. You ain't got nothing on this, Michael Jordan. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1986 hits his 34,000 point career record, which is going to hold until 2023 with the great LeBron James. Born this day, 1864, George Washington Carver. Black American scientist doing a lot of work with peanuts and other agricultural products. And this gets into, oh, I missed one. Oh no, oh no. Well, I'll just do two of them back to back. here is your episode's daily doses of Hanks. Let's connect Tommy Tom to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar actually wrote an opinion piece about the Elvis film that Tom Hanks was in. He said that Tom Hanks is a great actor. However, as a whole, he was not a fan of the film, saying that it did not do Elvis justice. Interesting. And a connection to George Washington Carver, talking about writing opinion pieces, connecting back to Thomas Paine, and this idea of free, increased liberty. And although in common sense, he's not directly talking about freedom of speech, if we're going to have a government that is reflective of the people, free speech has to be a part of that. But Tom Hanks in 2021 wrote an opinion piece for the New York Times. You can find it online, saying that everyone needs to be aware and educated about the Tulsa race massacre. So of course, this is causing a little bit of friction with some people. But there was a quote from Thomas Paine that I think connects all of this. When men yield up the exclusive privilege of thinking, when men yield up, so give up the exclusive privilege of thinking, the last shadow of liberty quits the horizon. We have to have free thinking, and with that comes free speech and sharing your ideas. And that's something I try to push in all of my classes. We can have differing opinions. Those are actually encouraged, but we need to be able to articulate them in a way that makes sense to other people to at least understand that perspective. There's so much tiptoeing around. I don't want to offend anybody. And I think there's a difference between outright saying something out of naivete and offending someone, or deliberately saying something to tick somebody off. But we have to engage in intellectual discourse or we're going to be in trouble. So there. That's what I think about that. Thank you, Tom, for being there. Okay. 1936. Stephen E. Ambrose was born, author of Band of Brothers. Do I even need to play the music? Do I even need to? So, Band of Brothers, Tom Hanks, producer. Daily Dose of Hanks. That was an easy one. Happy birthday, Mr. Ambrose. He also wrote a number of other books, one on Lewis and Clark, one on globalization. I'm actually teaching about globalization in my AP class later today. Exciting. A couple other birthdays before we wrap it up here. 1945, born Rod Stewart. I think Maggie May, that's one of my favorite songs. I'm going to put some Rod Stewart on the playlist for you. And born this day, 1949, George Foreman. Yeah. Most of my generation just think of George Foreman as the grill guy, the George Foreman grill. I am just checking to see, George Foreman, boxer, actor, and I'm checking right now on Amazon. You can still get a George Foreman grill for the price of approximately about $40. So, is there a difference between a George Foreman grill and a panini press? I'm just kind of curious because I'm looking at these pictures. I'm kind of thinking that looks like a panini press. But if there's anyone who's still faithfully using a George Foreman, let me know. Okay, so Alea, iacta est. The die is cast. The day has started, but what changes can you make? I'm not saying you need to be a silent sentinel standing out in front of the White House. I'm not saying you have to publish a 50-page dissertation on anything. But hey, today's the day to make something happen. So until next time, my friends, behave, be good, be kind, continue to wash your hands, recycle where appropriate, and take care of each other. Bye.